name is Serena Poon, and welcome to my show, Serena Loves. As a celebrity chef, nutritionist, and entrepreneur, I'm incredibly passionate about helping others live their best life through methods I call culinary alchemy, which is the magic of combining education, integrative and functional nutrition with healing intuitive energy. So, with each episode, I'm going to share with you the inspiring stories of some amazing people, incredible entrepreneurs from all different industries, each who have overcome challenges in their personal journeys to get to where they are today. And today, I'm so excited to bring to the studio another passion-driven entrepreneur with a purpose-based brand. He is amazing. As a naturopathic doctor with 30 years of experience in functional medicine, he has traveled all over the world studying the power of medicinal plants, primarily in Africa, Central America, and South America. On his journeys, he was inspired by the Baobab Tree, which is the African tree of life. And with two other partners, they decided to bring the magic and the power of the fruit of this medicinal plant to the rest of the world, and they founded KAIBAE. So this company is not only amazing in that they brought this to the world, but they're also incredibly impactful because they're about advancing social good by promoting economic development in impoverished regions of the world and also preserving the biodiversity of these type of medicinal plants. So here he is to share more about his passion for the amazing work that he does. Please welcome the co-founder of KAIBAE, Dr. Luc Maes.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I'm excited that you're here after, we met, by chance a few years ago, and here we are, and it's incredible to see how the brand has grown.
Thank you.
But before we start on that part of your journey, I would love for you to share how, you kind of transitioned. I know that you always had a love and an interest, obviously, in functional medicine and, natural products, but what made you decide to do this? It's a big leap.
Well, it's actually, yes, it's a big leap, but it's actually an evolution in my practice. I love medicinal plants. I've done research all over the world, and I love helping people. And for some reason, this tree called my name. Yeah. And I've studied plants all over the world, and I had to go to Africa. This tree was truly inspiring me and taking me on a journey to take what I've learned over the years to a whole new level. I was researching plants to benefit blood sugar, improve the gut microbiome, and looking for plants that had anti-inflammatory benefits. And I came across the baobab.
Yeah. Did you come across this studying it, or did you go to Africa to find it, or were you there?
Actually, I found it here in my research.
Okay.
So when I studied this plant, initially I was purely fascinated by the biochemistry. Yeah. So here I got a plant that makes an amazing fruit, considered a lost crop, undervalued for its benefits, but communities in Africa have used it for centuries. Yeah. And but the more and more I was drawn into its traditional uses, its history, and I was more and more drawn in and learned that this tree was growing in regions of the world where poverty is widespread. Yeah. They grow in abundance throughout regions where agriculture is very difficult. Yeah. And I was truly inspired, one, by the nutrition, two, by the potential that can make a positive impact and their importance to their ecosystem. So, but how was I going to go to Africa? I mean, I had never been there. I'm originally from Belgium. I grew up with natural medicine. My family is in the natural products industry in Europe. Ah, okay. And I was like, talking to my dad and say, hey, do you know anybody in Africa? He's like, well, we have a relationship with people in Ghana. Okay. Why don't you connect with them? And they had heard of the tree, but they had never realized that there was a potential for the fruit to help communities improve their livelihoods. So in desperation, one day, I'm like, Barb, talking to my wife, I'm like, I need to go to Africa, but I don't want to go alone. And I know I'm going to Ghana. And one day out of desperation, I plugged in Santa Barbara, Africa, in Google of all places. And here pops up my current partner, Tom, who lives only 5 miles away, who's an expert in botany, an expert humanitarian, and works in Africa. only
it's like
living
magic.
You know, when the universe opens up,
Yes.
when you focus on something, things just fall into place.
Yeah.
And so here I connected with Tom, and Tom grew up traveling to Africa. His dad is an African art historian. He works in Africa. He's actually in Uganda right now. Does amazing work. And we set out to Ghana about 7 years ago. Connected with communities in remote northern Ghana, meeting with elders, and seeing if there was an opportunity for trade, and trying to understand if there's a possibility to make the impact I was dreaming of. And the more and more I learned about this tree, the more I learned about the communities that I could make a difference for, KAIBAE was born. KAIBAE actually means hello, how are you, in Kusao, which is the language of the local communities that we work with.
I love that.
I felt for me that would keep me connected to where we started. So the Baobab really inspired KAIBAE to become a company that promotes wellness, promotes health and beauty, but also recognizing that health and beauty is only possible when we take care of our environment. And on top of that, to make an impact on people's livelihoods for me was very important. So I like to describe us a bit as the Patagonia for health and beauty. Patagonia is my inspiration for their strong commitment to the environment. And as a naturopath, I've always recommended people eat better food, high quality food. As you know, that's very important to maintain good health. But then I also realized that my patients continued using topical products that were not necessarily as organic as the food they were eating.
There's a disconnect for people, you know?
And actually it's one, you know?
Exactly.
So health and beauty is no longer a separate thing. So as a naturopath, I've always been concerned what people use internally and topically. And the body is like an environment. And in a very similar way, how you treat the external environment, that's how you treat your internal environment. And that's what I've always taught my patients is that you need to treat what's around you very similar to how you treat yourself. And so here, this opportunity for me was to promote biodiversity, preserve biodiversity. The tree sort of opened up this world to me, recognizing that we can preserve wild plants, once considered lost crops, as a powerful vehicles to preserve our environment, but also provide the consumer, including my patients, with ingredients that are very impactful to their health. And what I love about Baobab is that it is rich in prebiotic fiber.
I love that.
And as you know, prebiotic fiber is getting a lot of attention. It's truly important to the gut. It feeds a multitude of organisms in the digestive system. Actually, what research is showing is that we're losing diversity not only in nature, but we're losing diversity in our digestive system, but also in our skin. And so people who live disconnected from nature in the city, who aren't in touch with animals and plants around them, actually lose biodiversity inside and out, which leads to the development of higher incidence of allergies, autoimmune diseases, eczema, psoriasis, and so on. So KAIBAE has grown into a company inspired by the Baobab to promote and preserve biodiversity around us and promote biodiversity within and on the skin. So we're evolving into a company that will have an array of products that replenishes what we've lost in the city and that we can find in the wild. So the world rewild, to rewild, to bring the wild back within us
into our
is
home.
my answer to optimizing people's health.
I love that. So what motivated you to kind of start doing this research? Was it either a personal health issue, or is it a trend that you noticed amongst your patients that you were looking for something that would, help the gut and would help blood sugars? Like what kind of motivated you to start looking for something in nature that could help us?
Well, I'm forever very inquisitive. I have traveled all over. I've studied biochemistry and plant medicine in great detail, and but also being familiar with the natural products industry and seeing the needs of my patients. I mean, I seeing young children on medications earlier and earlier in life.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that there's an increased trend in sugar handling problems.
Yes.
And it's been an evolution. I've just been studying and understanding my patients' needs, seeing the trends also in the industry. Probiotics are truly important. As a naturopath, the gut is the core of it all.
Yes.
At least 70% of your immune system is wrapped around the gut.
Yes.
So whatever supplement you take, multi or antioxidants, if your gut is not receptive to that information because there's a poor balance in the microbiome, you're not getting the maximum out of those of all the hard work you're doing.
Right.
So it's a combination of understanding the trends, of seeing the needs of my patients, and discovering this amazing tree.
And I'm so glad that you did. I mean, I love this fruit and this part, and I love your product.
Thank you.
I obviously know all the benefits, but I would love for you to dive in and share that with our audience, because I'm sure there's actually still a lot of people out there that don't know what this is. They can probably barely pronounce it, you know?
Yeah, I know. Some people say Baobab, other people say Baobab.
Yeah.
A Baobab actually means a fruit with many seeds. And it's a pod. It's a pretty amazing pod. So these trees are giant. So you may be familiar with the tree from Le Petit Prince, or from the movie Madagascar, or so the pod, it produces a pod.
Yes.
And it's one of the very few plants in the world where the fruit powder actually dries in the pod.
That's amazing to me, actually. Yeah. I saw that in this video.
It needs minimal processing. So there's all we do is we wait until the pods turn brown. They're ready to harvest. We've established a processing center in the middle of nowhere in northern Ghana. Now employing numerous members of the community.
Amazing.
In fact, 85% of the people that we work with are women. And what's beautiful about the fruit is that all we need to do is we crack it open and we mill it and sieve it, separate the seeds from the powder, and it produces this beautiful powder that is rich in prebiotic fiber and extremely high in antioxidants. So if we know that the gut is 70% of the immune system is wrapped around the gut, the fiber, the prebiotic fiber, is actually promoting the immune system by enhancing healthful growth of organisms in the gut. Also, Baobab has been shown when added to baked goods that it improves the way we handle the sugar response. So as you know, every time we eat foods that are low in fiber, we get big spikes in sugar that ultimately damage our organs throughout, but also our skin. We're learning that swings in blood sugar actually damages collagen in the skin and weakens the links within the skin. And so as part of one's skincare program, one not only has to look at topicals, but now we're learning that an ingredient such as Baobab, rich in antioxidant prebiotic fiber, stabilizes the blood sugar. And that ultimately benefits the skin from within. Baobab is also very rich in antioxidant and vitamin C. And you know, vitamin C is so important. And kids love it too. I mean, Baobab has a great sweet and tangy flavor, and kids love it. So whenever we do demos, and children are actually the ones that are convincing the parents that they need to get it. And it tastes wonderful in smoothies. It's not overpowering. It's also high in magnesium and calcium.
That's great.
Those are two very important minerals that we're very deficient in. Their deficiency contributes to the challenges in blood pressure and so on. Another thing that we're learning too is that benefiting the gut microbiome not only benefits the skin, not only benefits blood sugar, but also benefits the brain.
Yes.
We are learning that including prebiotic fibers such as Baobab in our diet actually helps us deal with stress better. It helps us sleep better. So the ramifications of just this one single ingredient is amazing. And that's what drove me to go to Africa, to start a harvest. And now to see that Baobab is starting to get more and more attention is truly exciting, because I really want to make an impact for people here and where we harvest.
Oh, yeah.
So I touched on blood sugar. I touched on the importance for the gut. Actually is, I would say, a core, a pillar of one's health regimen is the gut.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, your gut is, as you said, 70+% of your immune system. It's really your second brain. And, I tell clients and I tell my community that, the prebiotics are actually feeding your probiotics. There's too many people that just think all you need are probiotics, but really you need the food that feeds them. And that's sort of what prebiotics are. And so this is a perfect example of that. And really, this is what a superfood really is, all the things that this fruit can do.
Well, what's fascinating is that you may have read about the Hazda tribe in Tanzania, where baobab is a big part of their diet. And they found that in analyzing their digestion, that the biodiversity in their digestion is much greater than people that live in the city.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So, and that was contributed to the inclusion of baobab in their diet.
Yeah, the diversity in our microbiomes for those of us here living in the States is very different than other countries. And that's something that it's great that people are more mindful of, so they know how they can change that. It doesn't have to stay that way. It depends on what you put into your body.
Correct.
I was watching that beautiful film that you did, and I saw how you guys harvested and you separated the powder from, and it wasn't even the outside of the seed, there was like fibers.
Yes.
So I'm assuming you use the whole pod, right?
We use the whole pod.
Can you talk about that?
Well, the red little, those are the furuncles, and those are actually extremely high in antioxidants.
Yes.
There are not a lot of them. You need to accumulate a lot of them, but they're very precious because their antioxidant value is really, really high. And we're integrating the benefit of those furuncles in a product that's coming out in the future.
More to come.
We're evolving. And I figured we start with the powder, but yes, we use every single part of the fruit. So we have the powder, the seeds. So we mill and press the seeds for a very rich but well-absorbed oil. So baobab oil is a very high antioxidant oil, but it's really well absorbed. It's really well hydrating to the skin. It's a slight nutty aroma, but it's a beautiful, beautiful oil. The seed meal that's left from the pressing, we use in scrubs. And it's also, so we want to use every bit of the fruit to the max.
Great. That's so great. So you brought some samples of the oil, and you can use it all over your body, your face. What would you how would you recommend people use it?
Correct. So developing a skincare product is more challenging than I thought. And so we have the pure baobab oil, which many people love to use generally to hydrate.
Moisturizer.
Like a good moisturizer. And it's well absorbed. And but in my work, as I mentioned, that baobab opened the door to many other wild plants. We're now working in the Amazon for KAIBAE. We're working in Zanzibar for seaweed.
Amazing.
So we're all about identifying these novel, lost crops that have unique health benefits. So it took us actually several years to develop this beautiful face oil. And what the face oil is, it's a blend of baobab with cacao from the Amazon and the seaweed from Zanzibar.
Oh, so it's a blend.
So you are not only making an amazing impact on your skin, but also making an amazing impact on the world with the communities that we work with. So with the help of a formulator that was formerly at Estee Lauder, it took us close to 2 years to develop this beautiful face oil. It's meant to provide the skin with the necessary nutrients to preserve the right pH. It contains Kappa ficus seaweed, high in saccharides, that has prebiotic benefits. It contains carotenoids to help the skin, to protect the skin against the challenges from the environment. So our whole skincare line is all about preserving the natural state of the skin to maximize its resilience against the challenges from pollution and the environment.
Beautiful. So what we need.
So wild plants, have a vigor that one cannot find in organic.
Right.
Because organic plants, although they are grown in on healthier soil, what I find is that wild plants have this concentrated amount of nutrients that result from the challenges that they endure growing in their unique environment. They haven't been cuddled.
Right.
So that's what we're capturing.
Right.
And that vigor is what we've lost in living in the city.
Right.
And that's what we're capturing.
Yeah.
And our face oil is our first beautiful topical product in our series of products to come.
Wow.
We're currently working on a microbiome mist, which integrates the benefits of the leaf of the baobab with seaweed and a variety of other researched ingredients that have been shown to activate the skin's microbiome. So that's what we're all about.
That's great. That's great. I'm so excited. I know you guys gifted me one, and I can't wait to start using it, because I agree with you about the vibrancy and the energy that's in the plants when they are grown in the wild. It's completely different. But I'd love for you to share where else we can find all the information about all of your products, where the people can see the film. Let us know what your social handles are and what your website is.
Well, you can find us at GoKaiBae.com. That's GoKaiBae.com. There's a great film on there called Lost Crops. It's been to 12 film festivals, and it documents our journey, discovering all these wild plants with their incredible health benefits and what we're doing to capture them for you and promote them for your daily use. We want you, the consumer, to become an active participant in preserving biodiversity. And you can find us on Amazon.com as well. So yeah, GoKaiBae.com. And my name is Dr. Luc Maes.
Great. Thank you so mumuch for coming today, and thank you so much for joining us here at Serena Loves TV. You can binge watch all the episodes at www.serenalovestv.com and on the EverTalk app on Apple TV and Roku. Thanks so much.